This is just a new update for you on the TBC Warcraft server I'm putting together. This is a new build of the server. It's hosted on a new virtual machine. This is VMware hosting it for me. I'm just watching some things go off as I do some fishing. So I've just seen here the Stormwind Stockade jailbreak event started. I'm getting this message about the mmap 530, and it's right, it doesn't exist. Don't know why, I don't know what it wants mmaps 530 for, but it all seems to work a lot better now. One of the things I've done is I've sorted out the Z position for most NPCs when they're walking around, so that I don't know if this was obvious in previous videos, but they would jump up, they'd walk along and jump high in the air. And it seems to be fine. I've come here, and anything coming up on the side of trees would flicker and jump up in the air. This is a whole new character, by the way, that literally started an hour and a half ago. I've left it soak testing just now for timeout stuff. I've done the human start area and gone to Goldshire. So just going back up to Goldshire now, because in 32 minutes I can half back to Goldshire again and log off. I'm not too interested in anything about this character right now. So just a few things about the server. It's set to vanilla mode, so it's set to the vanilla game. You need the vanilla. You need only able, to level 60, but it's running the Burning Crusade because it's a bit more stable. Okay. Anyway, this is the area here. So this is the human start area. It's North Shire Abbey through the trees, and these wolves, they would come along, walk up to these slopes, and start to fly in the air. And likewise, the critters would. So they'd basically go high, walk down, walk high, walk down, low, high, walk down, down. Now the ultimate version of that was actually in Darnasus. So I will roll a night elf in a moment and go to Darnasus. In fact, let's do that now. Let's log out. So yeah, sorry. It's set to vanilla mode. You cannot go through the dark portal, and you can only get to level 60. There's a few other little things like you can only use Latin characters in names. You can't have Cyrillic or Chinese or Japanese text. It's English only, and you have to then use a TBC client download from wherever you get one or from your installation. I forget the patch number. I'm just gonna create item layer, which is my general hunter. So the hairstyle I normally have is the long one, that one, and I have blue hair because I really like characters with blue hair. The markings are normally dead simple. Go for the mask. A little bit kiss, but we'll go for that. Login. So this is the first time I've actually been on Eastern Calendar, or rather than Eastern Kingdoms. I don't hear him talking. Maybe me, because my headphones are. No, he's not talking. There's something wrong there. That's obviously part of the game intro. Sound, music, flute music. Okay. Yeah, my headphones are broken. There we go. I don't want to do any quests. I just want to run to Dolonar. This may be a bit scary. I can't edit anything. I'm not a GM. I don't intend to create any GM accounts. So any that appear I know are hacked in or people cheating, stuff like that. I want this to be a test. I want to study the relationships that people form as they begin to play a game. I don't have a game, hence why I'm using this as the basis. And it's nothing psychological. This is about game-to-game interaction. I am collecting chat. How do people meet? Do they meet on quests? Do they meet at quest hubs? Do they meet in the cities where they're selling stuff? Do they meet through mail? How do they get in contact with each other? Now, my primary experience with WoW was you would go to a questing zone, you'd be going to quest and you'd meet someone. But I've met people in other ways. Obviously, I've had actual friends from other games and other places and real life friends join me in a game. I suppose oh, damn. It's a level 5. I'm so dead. Run. Run. I am so poisoned. Anyway, the interesting one was the priest in my first guild, the first guild that I ran. I met him or her, I don't actually know if it was a man or a woman that played it. It was a female character. And I met them by just being polite. Uh-oh, 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 dead. This may take a while. Just by being polite, they were at Menethil Harbour, getting off the boat, and I was at Menethil Harbour, getting on the boat, and I thought, we need a priest. I'll ask him. And I said, please, would you like to be in my guild? And they said, yes, and they joined my guild. And I think they said, because I basically said, please. So, manners are everything. Manners maketh the man. Anyway, let's carry on. Actually, that's interesting. They're obviously silver exclamation because I'm not any level worth having them yet. So, that's good. Huntresses, save me. Actually, I can test something with these guys. These guys would not reset after engaging an NPC. So I wonder if I shoot this bird. Nope, I'm gonna die. They just walked off. The joys of trying something out. But look, I have a quiver, and the quiver has arrows in it, and I have mana. That's the right way to be a hunter. Right. Let's see what's going on here. I was watching some videos earlier about, was it 101 things you never knew about World of Warcraft? And then I watched the complete history of Warcraft from Blizzard. It wasn't really the history of Warcraft, it was the history of some of the development and some of the development design ideas that they'd given the game. And they went on and on and on about the LFG option, which obviously I think came in patch 3.3, did they say? But we went through the whole of vanilla without one. So it wasn't particularly quick to provide that service. And I remember the whole vanilla game where the summoning stone was used. I remember the first time we used a summoning stone was Dead Mines to try and get someone to us. I think they were in Ironforge using the one and only auction house at the time, and I was there with a guy, I think he was called Rangy Boy, Rangieboy, who was a paladin. There was myself as a warrior to tank. He was an off healer. There was a druid main healer, which I'd never seen a druid before. It was one of the first night elves I ever saw, because obviously we were in Westfall in vanilla at like level 15 or 16. People hadn't spread out a lot by then from release. It's good stuff. And I remember getting the 3 or 4 of us together to summon the other person who was a dwarf hunter from Ironforge. And he came, and he never realised he'd be on the other side of the world. And we explained where you can go back by using your Hearthstone. And he hearthed, and then he messages us saying that he was back in Cold Ridge Valley at the starting zone. And we said, why didn't you set your Hearthstone to where you were questing? And he said, how do you do that? He said, speak to the innkeeper. And he said, what's an inn? So we kind of realised that the guy, who was abysmal, didn't do very much DPS at all, didn't really know how to play. So we'll see. I'm just noticing that null pointer target action cast. There's lots of those coming out on the server. So I need to look at. I've turned the logging level right down so I can see problems rather than actual activities going on. Plus, it was really slowing things down as I use stuff. Now, the other thing I can check, because this is the first time I'm coming to a city, is the auction house. I'm running auction bot. I've turned on player bot as well, but I haven't summoned any yet because I don't know how. But we will try something like that. So here we are, Darnasus. I quite like Darnasus, I always did. I like the fact that once you've learned where everything is, you're fine with it. And there's so many people going, where's the trade trender? Where do you buy arrows? It's really quite funny. It's like, you want to buy arrows? Go to the arrow shop. There's a Fletcher. Oh, I could interact with the Ancient of War long before I could see him then. Anyway, this is where I want to be. So, Dawn, there should be a PvP procession up and down here. Oh no, I'm in vanilla mode, so it won't be. Darn it. Darn it to Darnasus. Basically, there was a group that would walk up this road, and they would walk up the road, and again, they would fly high, drop down, fly high, drop down, right? Now they, not just sine wave, they would literally, you know, like a spectrum analyzer. Hey, let's check the auction house. We can do that test. So I just like to look at that plate, that male armor on that level 40 warrior trainer. Right, so there is an auctioneer here. Look. So, but it might be that there's no procession because there's no battleground on. There we go. There are items on the auction house. It's a lot of Grimrars. Weapon, bow. Let's go for rarity, epic, and search for everything. There's nothing epic on the auction house. I'm not rare. There's a few rare things. There's nothing epic, which is good. Ah, but there are level 70 items on the auction house, so I need to fix that. There shouldn't be level 70 things on the auction house. Okay. Anyway, that's the end of that test. You log that one out. Let me see if I can create a horde character. I shouldn't be able to. Whatever. Yeah, can I have both horde and alliance on the same server? So that's fine. That's correct, and I will be alliance. So I need to create, I'll go with that. I need to create me, and I need to create my druid. I'll do. And I'm going to create a dwarf warrior as well. Kaznak. And a dwarf priest. Night Elf priest. That's a very strange Night Elf in his face. What do we think? Human priest or dwarf priest? Or Night Elf priest? I've got a Night Elf druid because I have to have a Night Elf druid. Dwarf priest. Randomize. It'll have to be that. And my other character will have to have a warlock. Yeah. I can't stand gnomes as it is. I suppose that's the most normal looking one, if we can use that phrase. Need a name though. Shadowthorn. So Blackthorn is my mage, Alleviate is my hunter, Zealous is my warrior, Metabolus is my druid, Kazrak is my warrior, Clergy is my priest, Shadowthorn is my rogue. What else do I want to play? Never ever ever played a paladin. So I may play a dwarf paladin and we'll call him Narvis, and we will see what the opening for a dwarf does, see if the sound plays. The stoic dwarves of Ironforge. No voiceover. So is that a settings thing? Sound. Sound in background, sound quality, sound channels high, use hardware, system default, turn to game, log out. Narvis, you're going to sit there in the snow for a while. I love the music in WoW. Let's just try the Night Elf starting area again. I don't know why that's not playing. It should be, obviously. So we go, self TBC server. There's no other message of the day, I don't think. If we quit this down. So, server shutdown 0. Server is shut. Kill the realm. And we can exit this, you can exit that. So this is Ubuntu 16.04 server. I haven't gone to 18.04 because I haven't got an image of it downloaded and I just want to get this running. I built it myself, so downloaded the source code, created a build directory, performed cmake with a bunch of parameters on the recipe from the previous folder, and got this build, and I can do make on it, and the target is up to date. So from this we're going to start to edit code. I'm going to start tidying things up. Place I'm going to start is in Realm, so we will exit this and we will go to source and we will go to Realm and we will go to main, and we will start to do exactly the same code review process that you saw from my Boost Beast video a few months ago, but for each of these files, and that will become our actual instance. So this is currently vanilla, exactly as it comes off the GitHub for Mangos, and that's the second thing I'm doing. So I'm studying how this all sits together, and I'm hopefully converting it to be a bit more modern C++y, a bit more friendly. It looks a lot like C to me. I mean, straight away on this page, up multiple exit points from return statements. It's like, do I want to exit there if I'm trying to debug stuff? No, probably not. All sorts of bits. I've done this twice over myself, and I've never been happy with the results that I got. So this is it. I want to get things done properly, and I will speak to you all soon. I do hope you are interested in WoW TBC private server, the code side of it. I will cover the SQL side of it because we need to sort of understand more about it. So this installation has installed TBC, so I have TBC characters, TBC Mangos, and TBC Realm. I presume so you can add Mangos Realm separately and Wrath of the Lich King's Realm separately. I've never done that. I've never run them all in the same box. This is a dedicated virtual machine just for this task. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is get my always on box, which is downstairs and currently off, back online. I'm going to dump all these 3 tables to storage and create a backup that every evening it will store the databases, take a backup of them, so I can at least roll down per day. And while I'm developing, I may start a cron job that backs up every, say, 10 minutes in sequence, and then when I'm done developing it will clear them down, just so I can always roll forward or roll back from a change I've made. I don't know why it's connected to Oracle there. Oracle or its affiliates, all right, reserved. Oh, it's MySQL is owned by Oracle, isn't it? So that might be time to go to MariaDB. Straight away, we might go to MariaDB. The other things are just the language being used, so make sure it's all easy to understand. And things that are truly part of the code should be in code, should be encapsulated there, not in the SQL. And the things that should be SQL should be in stored procedures and proper data, not just like hard-coded in wherever. And I'm going to learn more about this, just generally learn about the networking side of it. Now, I've load balanced a few of the bits and bobs in my time, but I've never load balanced something like a WoW server, where you could end up, if I made this public, with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 connections. And certainly I know that there are Mangos servers out there that deal with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 connections at a time to one machine. But I, in my professional experience, would have load balanced that many machines across a couple of different things. Well, you can't do that with a server. You're all living in the same realm. Okay, that server may have multiple cores nowadays, but it's still one machine. And unless you've got something like this, where you have 4 Ethernet ports, you've really got to wonder about it. My servers themselves as well, I have still the box of fiber optic cable enabled, fiber optic boards to try out for networking. God, I'm tired. And once I've done that, I'm going to have, I think, 4 gigabit Ethernet here, or 4 gigabit fiber between these two machines. So I physically got my workstation, physically got the first server. Server will be for the storage, copying of stuff, keeping these backups, and will be the staging area for the actual main always-on machine downstairs. And I will probably bug Chaplin to start trying to test this for me soon. Speak to you soon. Where's the off button?